Okay, girl. I said I'm gonna record the first episode. Okay. I stopped moving all the things around that I was gonna do because you know what? Life starts now, and we move it now. Um, I don't have. I think I have to have like a minimum of 100 um um subscriptions on YouTube, so I have to record it on the phone and then upload it. And if you think I'm gonna edit, more power to you. Um, okay, I'm reading Blink by Malcolm Gladwell, and I'm doing this. Okay, I'm doing this. You know what? I think it's just because for like decades, I love reading. I've always loved diving in and trying to understand human behavior. Um, and then I express myself, like what I learned and how I know it. And some people really supportive, really cool. Other people like beating my ass, kind of not cool. So it's this whole push and pull thing with this is that I love to read and I love to talk with other people about what I'm reading, but I've always pulled back a bit because I didn't want the negative stuff. So, that empty bookshelf is like bothering me. I don't know. Oh well, I just made it even more prominent. Oh, gosh, I'm a dork. Oh no, that's the song. Okay. All right. Well, eventually I get a cameraman. But okay. Blink. For those who don't know Malcolm Gladwell, I was first introduced to him in the book The Tipping Point, which I really loved. I really loved because um, he talks about how ideas are like viruses that you give one or two or three or four or five or six, and it doesn't really matter like who you tell or what the idea is, but once an idea takes hold to some important key vital people within the social chain, that's when it can just completely explode and be like an overnight sensation. I forget exactly now what the examples are that he uses, but just like fashion trends where it seems like it happens overnight and then somebody's like, dude, I was dressing like that 5 years ago, 7 years ago. What are you talking about? But that's what it is that for the mainstream, it was overnight. They didn't know about it, and then suddenly they see it in two, three, four, five, or now with the internet, 25,000 different places, and people associate that with being overnight. But the tipping point says that it's never overnight. Nothing is ever overnight. Even, you know, overnight catastrophes or a tsunami that happens and gets global recognition, there are factors that lead up to it until you have that tipping point of the actual event. So I guess you could say that this is my tipping point starting out, and it just is awesome that I'm reading one of his other books, which is Blink. Um, what he's talked about so far is that we have what they call an adaptive unconscious. Most people would call this our instincts. You're doing something and you very quickly are like, or ooh to it. And what most people do is they live their entire life with this push or pull, and they never actually question how did that mechanism get created, and they never actually take the time to learn how to create those messages within themselves. Um, what a lot of people say is people live unconsciously. A lot of people think, "Oh, I'm not, whatever, it can't be happening." Well, what you don't realize is that yes, you've been conditioned since you were born, literally, by the people around you and the environment around you to do stuff. So, if you're not exploring, if you're not deep diving into your own subconscious and into your own conditioning, you are just giving the reins of your life over to whatever conditions happened during your childhood, adolescence, up till now. I try to do what I call processing. When I have anything going on in my life, I always try to, one, remove myself from the stimuli, and I try to write it down, and then to remove it, come back, read it, rewrite it, remove it, come back, reread it, rewrite it. Um, because I understand I'm a human being. I understand I'm irrational. We all are. Like, if you think you're a rational person, it just shows you don't know what rationality really is. We are imperfect organisms trying to take in and understand a very limited amount from something that is much bigger and much greater than anything any human brain could ever truly process. So I guess you have to acknowledge how insignificant you are before you can acknowledge that that's a bigger picture, I guess. I totally lost track of where I was going with this. Oh my gosh. I have like so many thoughts in my head now. Like I have wanted to do this for so many years, and now I see myself talking to myself, and that's like really weird because I hate somebody being in my face. So yeah, lots of things going on here, but this is the first episode, and you know what, Christine, you are just, girl, you inspire me. You are just so strong and so amazing, and I told you I was gonna make the first episode right now, so I actually stopped everything I was doing, paused my Big Bang Theory, and fucking made an episode. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. Um, so we have an adaptive unconsciousness, and the reason why it's called blink is because they say that decisions made quickly can be every bit as good as decisions made cautiously. I have a fear toward that. I'm sure we've all experienced that at some point in life where you have an instant decision and you follow it and it turns out, dang it, I shouldn't have followed it. Or you have an instant decision, you push it back and you think later, dang it, I shouldn't have pushed it back. So I am currently at a point in my life where I am trying to learn at what point do I trust that feeling, and at what point do I say, back it up, take some time, process it. Let's see, what else do I have in here? Yeah, I said, when should I trust? And okay, first off, if you are reading a book and it doesn't look like this, I don't think you're truly reading the book, in my opinion. I am a writer. I will write books about the book that I'm reading just so that I process it myself. And I don't understand how people can read and process a book. I guess if you have a good memory, you can do that, but I don't. So, one of the important points that I had on here is our instincts. So, instincts betray us only when those feelings are thwarted. So let's say you have an instinct of, ooh, I should go in there, wherever there is. Ooh, I should go in. And then you start rationalizing, well, I shouldn't go in because of this. I shouldn't go in because of that. I shouldn't. It's thwarting the feeling. You have a feeling to move forward. You're telling yourself, nope, don't move forward. Well, why are we thwarting the feelings? It's because we want a different outcome. Instincts deal with reality, not possibility. Now, let me make this very clear here. Our brains only know reality as we tell it to them. An example that can come to mind, social situations, okay? How many times have we seen a social situation where you've got 7 or 8 different people and now something happens and 2 people get mad at each other, and now little camps form about, oh, this person was right, this person was wrong, blah, 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 blah. Well, every person has seen their reality, that person A is right or person B is right. Okay, so the first thing you have to question when you have an instinct is, what's the wording here? You want it to be different. You want a different outcome than reality. So the first off you have to ask yourself is, what reality are you assuming? What is the outcome that would be assumed based on that reality? And then why you're thwarting the feeling because you don't want the outcome of your perceived reality. Perfect example, I see it in females all the time. Best friends, happy, go lucky, blah, 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 blah. And then one of them perceives that the other one isn't being nice to him. Oh, you said something about me in front of somebody else I didn't want you to say. Happens all the freaking time. And now they start going back and forth to each other. Well, the reality is you hurt me. And the other person's going to come back, well, the reality is I didn't hurt you, you're just too sensitive. And now you've got 2 clashing realities. I think a lot of people make the mistake of trying to solve social situations by looking at the other person, talking to the other person, interacting the other person. before taking any time to do that same amount of repair work with yourself. You have to ask yourself first, is this the reality that I'm seeing? Could there be a different reality which would get me a different outcome? And is that the outcome that I want? Most people do not appreciate the sheer amount of mental energy and emotional energy it takes to change your reality. Your outcome of reality, your entitlement of reality, your entire understanding of what reality really is. Those aren't my people. If you're watching this, you're probably my people. You understand how important it is to take what you read. I'm only talking about a thin little slice of this, which they actually do talk about thin slicing, which maybe I'll get into next episode, because I'm trying to keep these as short as like 15 minutes. I don't know where we're going to go. Eventually, it'll probably be a full talk show, but this is the first episode, and I kept my word. And just talking about it, I feel like better, and I feel freer, and like, oh my god, I can't, oh my god, okay, anyway, oh my god. Now I gotta figure out the logistics of uploading this. But if you take anything out of this little rant that I've just done, please take it that your first, whatever that is, an emotion, a thought, an impulse of action, whatever that blank is for you, understand you have created a reality for yourself. You do or do not want that outcome, which is why you will or will not follow that feeling. Question, what is the feeling? Then back it up. Question, what is the outcome? And then question, what is the reality? And then you gotta play. That's the how do I say it? The fun part. The like, I don't understand why people don't want to free themselves. Like, if you only have one reality, the reality that your parents taught your grandparents, whose grandparents taught their grandparents, blah 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 bullshit. I'm living as if it's 2,000 years ago. You're a prisoner of somebody else's parameters of reality, and when you can question reality, and we can go back and forth against realities. What if I'm right? That's one reality. What if I'm wrong? That's another reality. What if right and wrong didn't even exist? That's another reality. And when you can process it and think it through and put it through your brain, that's just amazing, because our brains cannot fathom beyond what we tell it. Another thing is that, what do we call it? The sundae example, but I'll use the strawberry example. Don't think of a strawberry. Don't think of chocolate on top of it. Don't think of biting into that and feeling a crunch. Don't think of pulling it away and there's a cockroach inside of it. I said, don't do it. Why did you do it? Our brains cannot process don't. You do have a reality. So you are right, and then you are wrong, and then there is no right or wrong. By doing these different analyses, by doing these different processes, you are literally living multiple realities, and your brain will begin to adapt and expand while doing this. And I love that. I love it. That's what gets me. Like, oh, so few people in day-to-day life do that. So I always feel so alone and like such an outsider. But then I watch these books, I watch these podcasts and I read these books, and this is why people have asked me to become a writer and a speaker since I was like in elementary school. I will be turning 37. That's the age my father killed himself. And I'm like, you know what? I think that's a metaphor for me, because the subconscious can't do don't, or can do do. You know what? Fine. I'm being 37. My past is behind me. I have lived beautiful years. I have lived hard years. I have lived years I don't even remember. And that's okay. That's life. And I am ready to move forward. And that starts with this, Books and Tea with C. If you've gotten this far, I appreciate you. We will build this channel eventually. Like 20 years from now, people will watch this and be like, wow, that was really weird. That's okay. I need 100 subscribers. Yeah, that's the word. Before I can actually start doing these on YouTube or whatever, I think. So it'll be recorded on the phone, and then it'll be uploaded, and no, there's no sort of editing or whatever, because I don't know how to do that shit. But I'm here to talk books. This is Blink by Malcolm Gladwell. I almost said John. And yeah, once again, shout out to Christine. Girl, you are such a rock star. Thank you for kicking ass in your own life and motivating me to kick ass in my own life. So that's the first episode of Books and Tea with C. Oh my god, I can't believe we did this. wait button.